Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Roy.
We are live on this beautiful Tuesday, February 11th. Oh, we've got a nice move down. We got a zone already wicking off of. Sorry, wicking off the top there. It's got a good range. Got J Powell testifying today.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh, look, we already got one viewer. Look at that.
Hey, that's better than yesterday.
We've already doubled our yesterday viewership. All right. So, let me get myself organized this morning. I'm bouncing around from crypto to Top Step to Twitter. Yeah, so going through it yesterday, it really was kind of a choppy day. Really wasn't much going on. And our trading strategy of just kind of waiting it out ended up paying off yet again. We found our breakout zone. If you want to go over some of the spots that helped us go through it. Hey, Howie, good morning.
Good morning. We were wondering if he was riding a bike down the Mexican coast this morning on the coast of the Gulf of America since Google's changed it. What'd you ask me
Google
to do?
changed it.
I
I was just
lost.
say you're good. Yesterday's ranges and the zones, how they held up and things like that. I know you've already deleted the zones from yesterday, but we can kind
Yeah,
of go through a
you
quick
have it for
recap.
yours?
I don't think I do. No, I
It
don't.
was
That's fine.
roughly like right around. I didn't take that in. Yeah, I took that in. So we got this breakdown here. Never did it. We traded around it some.
Mm-hmm.
Actually had a really good day. I think Roy was it on the upside here where we made the money, most of our money back up.
Yeah, back
And then
up.
pretty much got it out and it was done about I'd say around here. But you can see how this is a previous level from Arizona from the week before last. You can see how it kind of hell it couldn't ever get through it. So it just kept going up there and test, recome down. So you can see where it overlays. It kind of overlays this zone we're in now, the bottom of this zone. So it actually makes sense why we're struggling right here, right? Because we're getting to the bottom of this other zone. I don't really like my zones overlapping, but I might leave it on there today just for reference to see kind of how we're doing. We do have a line drawn here that we drew yesterday that was pretty good. This one up here was really accurate too at this 6087 level. And then we did, of course, we got this one at 6100 at slight level up there. It's been there for a while. So we're going to watch this, see how this zone plays out here. You can tell where your overlap is, so it's not that big a deal. It just once you get above it, you kind of, if you're not paying attention, you can kind of get sidetracked with it. But, you know, like you said today, we do have pretty much all we got is you got him testifying at 9, starting at 9. I'm not sure what that's going to be. And then at 2:30 this afternoon, you got Williams and Bowman, and then you got the U.S. Treasury Stevens speaking. You got all kinds of stuff happening right there. So if you are trading power hour this afternoon, I would suggest you be really careful.
There's CPI too, so you got CPI tomorrow.
Yeah, CPI's tomorrow. So would not be surprised if we see some short covering today. So we could see a trend up at some point. Yeah. It's just got 7 text messages in a row.
I would say on days like today, I mean, obviously you don't want to have any sort of bias, but I would not be surprised if you get a sustained move down to then trigger the short covering. So now we could just rip on up and do its thing, but go ahead.
I do want everybody to know about CVD. So CVD this morning, when I opened up my computer, when we were in all right around here, I guess it was about 720, 725 when I opened it. So we're all in this mess here. CVD was about 1,000. CVD is at 4,000 right now. So we dropped. CVD is really 4,000. So we know we typically get a little spike here. So I would not be surprised to see a little spike in the open. CVD could change really quick. So you got to be, pay attention to that. But that big move up with the move down, just, I don't know. It's telling me, as old Snoop would say, it's got my loins itching, tingling. I get a pop. I'm not trading. I'm trading our strategy. We are below the 50, so I'm not looking for any longs right this second. So looking over at the 10-minute chart, I wish Top Step X would let us do the 10-minute chart. That would be fantastic. But, 10-minute chart over here is looking, it's not looking great. Overall, you look back, let me zoom in. Where you at? Oh, it's over here. Let me zoom in on it.
Yeah, I got you.
So since about 120 yesterday, we've been in a downtrend. Oh man, it's you could actually draw. Roy, go back to 120. And this is going to be a little skewed, but if you go back to 120 yesterday and you draw a trend from the top down to this last high, you've got a nice little trend down that you could look for. It's very interesting. So, like I said, we are in an overall trend down. You can look. Anybody that knows, we always tend to look at the 4-hour, how this pattern has been playing out, right? Pop, drop, drop, lower high. So overall, if you're looking at this one, I don't know why we're doing it this way now, but we'll catch that. So you get 3. You got a downtrend and try to break above it. We couldn't, and test. So the way I drew this downtrend here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 tests. So if you was to draw it where you just caught this one, you'd only have 2. So figure this is probably a stronger trend. So in the 4-hour, we are definitely trending down. 10-minute, we're trending down. So the overall trend is down. So you just got to be careful with that today. I'm not saying that we're going to move down for sure. I'm not saying we're going to move up for sure. I'm just saying that we're in a trend down, but CBD is at 4,500 now. So, and we got a long way to go. If you look at the 5-minute chart here to actually break out of that trend, let's see. There's that trend. Where did the trend go? Is it that 5? There it is. That's that blue line. Sorry. I was looking for red because on the other side is red. So here's our trend line that you can see coming down. So we got a long way to go if we were to get to that trend line. So probably more than likely won't be coming to play today. Roy, I don't know if you remember yesterday, I said we had all those orders sitting at 60.50. They're back today. You got 377 sitting down there right now.
You got
200 sit there all day.
61.25, 61.50 is your 20-day moving average. So look for maybe the break there to hit those orders and then potentially a bounce up. Maybe.
And something else you can look at, talking about being a downtrend. Well, look, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So if we make high here, it's another lower high. So everything is trending to the downside. So that's what I'm saying. Even with CBD being spiked, you can't just automatically jump in and be like, oh, I got to go. I got to go long down here. You got to be careful.
And so we got about 45 seconds to open. I'll wait till the open and do the kind of the rundown of Mag 7, but it's not really much change from yesterday. A lot of them just flat, basically.
Here's our
apples.
825 counter pop, our general pop in the mornings. See if it can follow through this time, though. Yesterday it didn't follow all the way through. It did pop, then it came back down.
Yeah, and I'd say that's a pretty weak pop from what it normally does.
Yeah. We've got anybody knows we need to rename the stream to Patience, because that's what we've been doing here.
Patience pays. All right, so we are open. And there's your pop.
There's your little pop. Let's see. CBD's 5,000 now. 52. Wow. It's almost like CBD kind of told us what was fixing to happen, didn't it? But my days of trading that is over. I can't take a chance on it. Even though it would have paid off. Here we're going to test in the 50. And this shorter trend line on the 10 minutes actually could be in play here pretty soon. So We can't do it on the 10-minute. By gosh, we can do it on the 5-minute. Let's see where I start this one at. 120 yesterday. It's going to be that top there. So basically what I did was something similar to that. Oh, no, sorry. I didn't do it as strong. I just took these tops, right? Instead of taking in all this, I could have started here and got a lot more, but I took these tops in to see if it can break these tops. Here on the 5-minute, we did make a higher high here on this one. So that is something to watch if we break above that, which would also break above that.
Crypto is trending down, which is interesting on this move up in the markets. Let's see. Oh, we look at IWM, and it's also kind of trending down. So,
yeah, I don't like that. I need to see where we're at. I got a feeling the strategy is going. This could be our first down day on it. Yep, we're down $70 right now. So we might. I don't know, we're going to wait and see if this thing pops up any. It pops up. There you go. It's coming back in range. We're $50 down now. We need IWM to go to at least 226, and then this thing would be profitable.
VWAP test on ES. Slight rejection so far. Tied early on. A little bit difficult to read, but you got calls slightly in charge.
Yeah, my title. There it goes. It was not update, but now we're good. We're gravy now. It'll just give me a blank screen for a little while, so it's all good. CBD 54, so it kind of spiked right there, 55, and hadn't went any higher. So we'll see if they can break through this. Oh, man, 72 to 70. You got about 1,000 orders sitting there, so
it's another interesting note. We're getting one of those days where Apple leads the way. It's up 1%, while the rest of Mag 7 is basically flat to down. Normally, when that happens, that for some odd reason is not good for the general market. So, see if people are flying to Apple for safety would be an interesting play. I mean, Tesla, look at Tesla. Oof, poor guy. 346. It is now under 350. I guess the rumors of Elon trying to buy OpenAI has got people a little spooked that he may sell some shares.
Yeah, I did see somebody yesterday talking about how they were predicting, and of course they were adamant that it's, it's not, anytime somebody predicts something, they can't say with certainty what's going to happen, right? But their wishful thoughts, if they could have their way, it would drop to around 300 range, and they would look to go along around 300.
Yeah, I will probably enter something.
Pop through it. Well, you got Fed's Hammock saying, signs about to know that we could see inflation easing.
There you go.
If y'all hear some noise in the background, that is my raindrops outside. They're pretty heavy. So lovely 40-degree rainy day. You gotta love it.
Good napping weather.
It is good napping weather. So y'all know what I'm doing. This stream's over with. Look, it got to our 4-hour trend there, or that's a 10-minute trend. Didn't like it so far, so we shall see. And right up in that previous yesterday's zone, you can't make.
And the 200 on the 5. I mean, it's all right there.
Roy never responded back. I sent him a message last night. It was late, and it showed the zones.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just incredible. We had a low last night that came. When I sent it to him, it was when this low came down and boom, and it held. I was like, you got to be kidding me on these damn zones.
I'll give you a 100.
You have a zone down here somewhere? I don't know if I kept those. No, I did not keep that one down there.
Let me see if I can I think I can get it on our stream. Hold on. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
So you can just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Rejection.
CBD's
Retest.
up 7,000, by the way.
7,000.
Yeah.
Woo! Look at that thing go. So we are
Yeah.
above where we're in yesterday's zone, not quite to the next day's zone. So you're looking for a retest of that trend line?
Hell, I guess, Roy. I don't know. Kind of kicking myself that I didn't take that grade off open like I said, but we're trying to be patient and safe and all that good stuff. SPY volume's going negative though. Have you seen that on chart?
So yeah, so this is general market actually has also gone negative. So SPY's gone negative, general market's gone negative, holdings have not. My gracious, what a difference in those.
Yeah.
So
We'll go back to can you go to your holdings and see or actually go to the other one, see who the top ones are?
looks like
market.
Tesla,
So,
Apple, Palantir. Yeah, so Apple.
I saw somebody Snoop shared a tweet this morning. So I've been kind of avoiding Twitter, but I got on Twitter after I saw that and was kind of scrolling through, and I saw somebody ask questions like, "Who's buying Palantir up here?" Because I know nobody. I don't know anybody that's bought Palantir over 100. Like, who's still buying Palantir? Like, I want you to show your face and give me a reason why you're still buying. I still have not looked to see if my calls were exercised yet or not. I'm waiting to see what happens Friday. If they're there, great. If not, well, I made $106 per off 700, so I won't be mad. And plus, I made the premium off of them. So
yeah, so you're like 108. So you basically missed $10 right now.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
But there's no way you would have held over the weekend with that thing popping like it did on Friday.
Well, you notice we didn't get the close above that zone, so. Right now, I just can't. I don't know. We've been so much better just waiting.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the zone. Yeah, that trend line may be a bounce spot, but
see, we hit yesterday's previous, but we never broke this morning's zone so far. So
yeah.
And look, right up that trend line is them things holding in it.
You got a mixture of data too with Tide and CBD and stuff. So look at the call premium on general market though, flying up. And same on SPY.
Volume has gone green though on it.
Yeah, so you could get maybe a VWAP retest and jump up.
Like we just got.
Yep.
Oh, you mean this move that it's doing right now? Yeah. The one I said when I was saying I just don't know down here, because I was actually thinking long, but I was like, I just can't. We've done so much better by being patient and waiting, right? So I don't see a need to rush a trade here this morning. Just my thoughts.
Powell is about to take the mic, so he'll do his opening statement. Yeah, I got 20 minutes. He's going to do his opening statement, and then he's going to get a ton of goofy questions for about 3 hours. So my guess, he gets asked a lot about inflation, about rates, about cutting rates. He's going to get a lot of pressure on trying to cut rates faster.
Here's my thought process, what the market's going to do to Powell. I think we're going to get some movement when he starts, right? And then it's going to kind of level out, and we're going to be kind of in between, unless he says something really out there, right? But Powell's probably not going to say something that's going to be just really out there, in my opinion. He's pretty calculated on what he says, and I got a feeling he's going to be pretty calculated on his answers today once they start asking questions. So, but we do remember Jackson Hole where he came out and was he could be hawkish today, and everything is doom and gloom and bad. We don't know.
Yeah.
But my thoughts would be we get some movement right when he starts, and then we'll get some movement before he ends, and kind of just chop around on the metal while he's talking. Is my kind of thoughts, but we shall see. Volume has gone back red, like Roy said earlier. It's still early, so it's easy for the volume to move back and forth right now. So don't panic or trade off what you're seeing. It's just we are getting conflicting data with CBD being 72, 73. Volume going negative, but a call premium is still rising, but your puts premium rising now too. So
Flipping over to Mag 7, you can see Apple's still up 1%. Nvidia's gone green, 0.3%. And the rest are red. Not big red, except Tesla's big red, but everybody else kind of hanging out. So we'll see if they can get some buying pressure up. Bitcoin had a drastic drop here, about $1,000 down. It's now looks like it may have found a bottom on a purple line that rhymes with 5. 5-day moving average. Solana at 199, so it broke under 200. Let's see if it can hold its weight up here. Gold is 3,000 inevitable, Monty. 29.28. It was 29.68 yesterday. Look at that
gold
formation.
man,
Gold acting like a financial crisis is around the corner. Baba is ripping. Old Nancy Pelosi, Tempest AI. Look at that thing, 75. That was my fumble. I was going to buy. I was talking to a buddy about this yesterday. The news broke about Nancy buying this thing on a Saturday, I believe, or Friday after hours. And it was like $32. The next Monday, it opened up at like 42. I had $45 calls for July that I wanted to buy for $7. And then I was like, no, I can't buy it. It's already up, 20% today. That would have worked out. That would have worked out. So
yeah, well, I'm kicking myself here too on this strategy. So I bought the 227 calendar spread,
mm-hmm.
and it was right around. It was actually like 226.80, and you're supposed to buy whatever the closest one it is. Something told me to buy the 226, but I stuck with the 227. I'm down $60 on it right this second. If I would have bought the 226, I would have made my $80, $100, and it would have been done for the day already. Now that was kind of iffy, right? You don't know if you should do it or not, so I can't really kick myself over that one. But by gosh, I want to. But if we can get back up to 226, this thing would pay out. So I'm not panicking yet. Like I'm down $50 right this second. Open position, $50, $40. So it's kind of moving up a little bit. So if it can get to 226, fingers crossed, that would be fantastic for me, and that would prove that the strategy is still working. Last week we went finish was it 255 or 275 for the week, Roy?
I think it's 255.
255 for the week and I did 3 days. I missed one day because I tried to go after it. We're coming back, baby. $30 down. We're at 22.37. If it goes to 220, that's 225.37. If it goes to 226, we will be green and we will close the trade. Whatever we make. If we can get this thing back green, we'll close it, whatever green it is. And the strategy will still be 100% accurate. $35 down now. So anybody watching at home?
It says IWM calendar spread strategy.
IWM calendar spreads.
We're paper trading it right now, and after a month, maybe 3 weeks, he's gonna actually go, if it's profitable, see if he can do it with real money.
Yeah, right now we're going to leave it on. We're going to do paper trading through all of February. I'm not doing any real money until February's done. Oh, what we got here? I'm pretty much. Oh, I'm not sure. This is a 20-year-old. We got some stupid news. I don't care about the stupid news. Show me accurate news. Market Watch, you get some good stuff off Market Watch. This is, I'm of course looking at Financial Juice, and Market Watch is one of their things. I might need to turn Market Watch off because Market Watch is a lot of opinion based stuff, and I don't really care about the opinion based stuff. I just need news. I don't need opinions.
Yeah, which is odd because they're a product of the Wall Street Journal, so it's like you'd think that they'd keep the opinion stuff over there.
Wall Street Journal, I had to turn that off for real because it was really opinion. Like there was no
Yeah.
news. It was all opinion based.
Yeah.
See, but it gets you right here. So the 10 and 30-year yields rise for the fourth straight session ahead of Powell's testimony. So that came from Market Watch. But then you get the next one is I'm pretty much uninsurable. My 20-year-old term life insurance is up. But I was diagnosed with throat cancer. What do I do? Well, you don't get life insurance if you have throat cancer. I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to insure you.
Some sponsored stories that they sneak into the feed.
Yeah. They have a lot of those. And then you read, like if you open it up, it's like a Reddit feed thread. It's like I don't want to. I'm trying to avoid Reddit threads. Well, we are making
a big spike in call premiums on general market side. On SPY, though, you're getting a big spike in put premiums.
Yeah. Look at the
volume matching that spike. So, how's CBD looking?
6,500 right now. So it's come back some. Of course, it's expected. It's not really moving a ton. So what you're getting now, when you got to be careful with CBD, is CBD will move like orders are coming in and out, right? So it's fluid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still holding positive very well, but it's come down. So it's moving with the market now. So
yeah,
you're not seeing a big spike, you're not seeing a big drop, you're seeing it move with the market. So you're not really getting any new readings off of it right this second. It is showing you there's still buyers there, but where are they at is the question. Now you look, oh my gosh, just switch mine real quick. Look right here in this area. Look at those orders. That's 2,500 orders right there. That is a big spot, boys and girls.
Is that 74, 75?
Yeah, 76 to 76.50. And well, 77. Now they moved some up. It's around that 76, 76.50 areas where they're kind of staying at right now.
So you're 200 on your 10-minute, 74, 75. So we keep butting right into it and failing.
Yeah, if you look out on that 10-minute too, you can see it's since yesterday when it dipped below it has tried its best to get back above it, and it has struggled.
That's the yellow line here, is that 200.
It was funny. So the other day we were talking about the 2 hour being on the 10-minute. And Roy didn't have it on there, and I see Roy pop a screen up indicator like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm adding the 200."
Yeah.
I mean, you go back and you look at it, 200 is strong. It's a strong level.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 minutes till Powell, so we'll see what side wants to de-risk here.
We'll use a Michael Patak analogy. He was talking about the different EMAs and stuff, and it's like the 50 is like a chain link fence. It's there if you can climb over it, you can get over it. But he said the 100 is like it's a brick wall. You got to get over a brick wall. Well, no, it's the 200 is the brick wall.
Yeah,
and it's got razor wire on top of it. I'm trying to break through on the 5-minute here. I mean, you look on the 5-minute, it's pretty damn good on the 5-minute too. If you're looking at my charts, that yellow line there.
Yeah.
So that's good to have these on your chart. You don't have to trade off of them, but you can. But it's good. Like, hey, I'm getting close to some resistance, or I'm getting close to some support, and might need to think about exit strategy if you are in a trade at that point. Are we going to break above this little trend here? Hold it up. If we the thing about it is, if it gets up, it can continue the downtrend because it's just going to be on the bottom side of it, so the top side of it.
Mm-hmm. This play this morning looked to be the launch spot. This 20-day moving average licked right off of it and just went for it right before the open.
Yeah, I got this stupid account using as a practice account, and I went short here this morning. Of course, took a little heat, but I got $600 off of it just messing around to see if it was going to reject up here, and it did. And I could have got more out of it, but I had orders set, and I took what I had. But that account we've grown to almost $3,700 now, which is really pissing me off. I can't take any. I am using that account as a practice account now. If they're going to leave it there, I might as well use it and let me trade it, right?
Right.
More realistic to what I'm doing. And so if I was to open up a practice account, it's going to be a 150K practice account. Mm-hmm. That doesn't really do a lot of good to me. And once you close a combine, or it moves to live or whatever, or it moves to XFA, well, that practice account gets closed because it's attached to that combine. Mm-hmm. So you got to keep redoing your practice account. So as long as that one stays there, that's going to be my practice account.
Makes
CBD.
sense. Yeah, getting a little pop here.
Yeah, it was 65 and popped to 7 on that little move up real fast. So
general market tide, your volume has now gone green. Premium's pushing higher. Your call premium pushing up on SPY.
Yeah, look at that.
The volume's going
up. That's the key.
Yeah, and your volume's starting to push up. Holdings just going bigger. The call volume. Very interesting.
Yeah, but me and Roy was talking yesterday. I think we've done a really good job of being able to decipher tide with book map and kind of work them together on stuff that we see.
Oh, I'm sick over this one. LEU. I sold it in December. This is December.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Nuclear power.
If anybody knows Roy does not hold too long.
Nah. The only thing I can keep is a wife, apparently.
Better not go wood right now.
Even that was in jeopardy a couple years ago. All right, so we got Powell at 6 minutes. I'm not sure.
He will be streaming live if we want to pull it up. It is actually live, so.
Yeah, you want to try it? Try it.
We can try.
I'll try and find it.
I would have it. I can have it on the other one because it's going to be live. The juice is going to show it live. So I've got it pulled up here. So check back for live video this here. So it hasn't started yet. So we can pop back over and then you'll probably be able to hear it, but I won't be able to show it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes till we go. So I know I'm not taking any trades in the next 5 minutes. So if you'd give me just a couple minutes, I'll be right back. Roll through all your stuff. Roll through everything. Show them all the trades that you do. How about that?
All right. So as we see, this is a 10-minute chart. Go ahead. 10-minute chart. We got.
That's going to take a while if you show the ones you.
Yeah, let's not do that. The 200 here on the 10-minute on the ESC and just can't quite break above it. It keeps batting it. That's also aligning with the top of the Bollinger Band. I have a lot of lines on my chart, so The green here at the top is your Bollinger Band. The yellow is the 200. This purple is the 5-day moving average. The thick blue is VWAP. Then I got ribbons and all sorts of stuff. But it all makes sense to me. So if you get confused on that, just know it's very simple. VIX popping here about 1626. It is green on the day, which makes sense because the market's red. It's up 3%. We'll see if it can get moving higher. TNX gonna have a gap up this morning, sitting about 4.5 back above it. So we'll see. Keep an eye on that. Dixie's just kind of been dragging around 108 for the last few weeks, but it is on a bit of a downtrend this morning. Apple, you're seeing Apple at 229, battling 230. 20-day moving average, 5-day moving average right above it, in that 230 range. So Apple had a pretty interesting spot. NVIDIA started a little lower. You see this trend down. It's now moving to the highs of the day of yesterday. Good green candle here. Pushing higher. It's now 0.64% up. Microsoft, $410. I mean, it got hit pretty hard on its earnings. Hadn't quite recovered. Same with Google, 185. Got hit on its earnings. Haven't quite recovered. Amazon just kind of been dragging since its earnings. Not really up, not really down. Meta had a monster run last week, but now it's kind of settled in, which is pretty bullish. Figure that's going to hold all of those gains. Tesla falling. Yeah, I mean, if you look at a daily chart on Tesla, I was trying to look at it yesterday to see kind of entry points. Looks like that 330-ish, 320-ish range. You want to keep an eye on maybe a starter position in Tesla for a long. Coin doesn't normally drop at the open. It looks like it's starting its recovery back up. I do have coin calls. They have earnings on Thursday, so I'm hoped to be out by Thursday, but who knows? Hopefully they can give me a pop beforehand. Also in Coiny, which is a nice dividend-paying stock. If you're not interested, if you're interested in it, do your own research. Drop me a comment if you want to learn more about it. Bitcoin kind of battling this 97,000 range. Solana battling 200. XRP, I know a lot of people trade that. 246. IO, nice little pop on IO. Good crypto there. Gold, monster run on a little bit of a downtrend here. SPX had a gap down, 6,053. We'll see. So you had this gap up. You have not filled this gap yet from, I believe that's Thursday. So keeping an eye on that. Or sorry, that could be over the weekend. When was that? Yeah, that's over the weekend. So you had a gap up. We have not filled the gap from the weekend. Qs slightly red, down 0.25%. IWM down 0.5%, but pushing higher. I think IWM will be an interesting watch on Jay Powell's testimony here that starts in about a minute. So keep an eye on that. Palantir off to a nice rip. Got a new high at 118. It's come down a little bit, but that thing is just roaring. Micron 95. AMD pushing higher, 111. SMCI, I think they have earnings. SMCI.
Oh,
yes.
Let's see if that gets announced.
SMCI earnings after the close today, so should be an interesting one. I think they're 2 earnings behind on their report, so I don't know.
They never did their stuff to the
NASDAQ.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that.
I've got
that
it.
is just a stock.
I got J Powell pulled up over here, so he's not up yet. There is still blank. I mean, it's a waiting screen. So
there was a move on ES just happened. So we had a push down, bounce right off this EMA, and is now pushing higher.
Whoa!
And it's pushing higher hard. Yeah. What was that?
That was short covering before J Powell speaks, in my opinion.
As I say, hey, money algos don't control the market, right?
Yeah. We had y'all missed that yesterday. Me and Roy discussed how somebody said that if you think algos control the market, you're stupid and you're an idiot and all this stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Top of the hour, J Powell about to speak, and then bam, all that volume comes manually coming in. Sure. Just not
It is
out
not
there.
started yet. So I'm gonna actually minimize this so we can see. Oh, he is talking. It's just not showing. There it is. Hold on, let me find it. Watch it live. Oh, it's news is popping everywhere. There we go.
Yeah, no, he's talking.
He's talking, but I can't hear him over here. So, I know one. Well, maybe not.
Americans. That is why the Federal Reserve is to be an independent institution free from politics.
Mr. Scott is the chairman. This ought to be interesting.
The Fed has been susceptible to political pressure. Take, for example, the Fed's involvement in the Network for Greening the Financial System, a group dedicated to green finance.
Can you hear that?
Climate change.
Yep.
Which the Fed joined in December 2020 as President Biden was about to assume office. Just last month, the Fed announced that it had pulled out of the organization as President Trump was getting ready to be sworn in. To the American people, this is flip-flopping in the political way. Too much focus.
This might be interesting to hear in here.
Vision is consequential.
Oh yeah, they're all going to be aggressive.
Years ago,
Very aggressive.
we saw the failure of Silicon Valley Bank.
Talking about his flip-flopping.
The third largest bank failure in U.S. history and the largest since the 2008 financial crisis. And yet not a single federal regulator was held to account. In fact, the FDIC filed a lawsuit against bank executives which accused the SVB of egregious mismanagement. And I agree. How is it that no bank supervisor has faced any consequences? With 30 MRAs and MRIAs that never had timely action at SVB, how can the people who are supposed to be our cops on the beat have not faced any recourse for such egregious failures? I simply don't understand. We must all agree.
That's how I read a story to my child.
Decimated our working families' ability to support themselves. During Joe Biden's time in office, overall prices rose by over 20%. Energy prices, 34%. Transportation costs, 31%. Groceries, 22%. But that's not all. Thanks to Bidenomics, 2/3 of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings accounts. But there is good news. Things are going to get better. During his first term, President Trump kept his promises to the American people. In the first 3 years of
Who
his
is Mr. Scott? Who is this chairman?
built the
Because
most
he is.
inclusive economy ever.
There is no doubt he's a
7 million
Republican.
jobs created, and 2/3 went to women.
Yeah, it's funny to me that if you're going to do these prepared statements, but you're going to have these little zips and zabs, and you got to show like it's like natural emotion. You can't read it off like you're reading a book.
Too long, bank regulators.
Oh, so this is Tim
have followed
Scott. He is a
regulatory framework with little to no
senator from
recourse.
South
The FDIC,
South Carolina.
President Trump's leadership recently released
He's a local
an
Chick-fil-A
ever-before
owner too,
seen
by the way. So
supervisory
we know
dollars.
where he's at.
That Biden's Operation Choke Point 2
He is definitely
was real, despite assurances
conservative.
that these unacceptable practices would
Yeah,
end.
but again, there's nothing wrong. But see, like, what is J Powell supposed to answer here? Is he gonna? Sure,
Well,
buddy.
this is the chairman's opening comment. So
This is the opening statements. Yeah.
So he'll do his. Powell did his opening statement. Now the chairman do his opening statement. Then they'll open up
You were in
questions.
the private sector, and you do.
But we can see which way this committee's leaning already.
Reprimands,
Yeah.
suspension.
This is the Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. So
But if you are within the walls of the federal government, such as a bank regulator, you will face no consequences for your actions. Even if you pressure a bank
My,
to cut off services to digital
My strategy, we're now $10 down.
and conservative lines of business.
They got as much as $87.50 now. We're $10 down right now.
And market access. Over the last 2 years.
Oh, you'd appreciate this, Roy.
I have consistently
hold on for this.
That Basel III.
When I took a little break just then, I pulled my phone up, and of course, Dave Portnoy was live. He was playing "Don't Stop Believing" for all his holders.
All right, great. Dave. Good job.
And then he got mad. He's like, "Are they not going to say 'Don't Stop Believing'? Are they not going to say it? Where's the chorus? It's going to tank unless we get the chorus."
On the Federal Reserve's future and the plans that you have for right-sizing the financial regulatory frameworks.
Who knew? See what y'all people are missing out on. People that don't watch the stream, they're missing out on live coverage of Powell's testimony.
Yeah.
And Dave Portnoy's updates on Dave Portnoy and what he's doing in his live stream.
I mean, is there anything better or more patriotic?
Nope. And if you notice, myself and Roy have not taken a trade this morning yet.
Yeah, I mean, along here off of these EMAs would be interesting. But
it could be a good move, but CBD is 8,400.
For liberal positions from debanking crypto, bank stress tests.
What's Tide showing?
Financing scheme.
Not the same thing. When your call premium's up, but your put premium rising, your volumes going to bulge.
That we are getting ready to clean that slate, start afresh, and focus on a healthy economy. Ranking Member Warren.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, Elizabeth Warren.
She's
on the committee.
I disagree on the need for strong bank regulation on monetary policy.
I'm going to tell y'all, I don't hate those people, but I cannot stand this lady.
We have sharp differences, but I believe you are a
I don't know if I can watch this now.
Who cares about this? We are at an unprecedented moment. Our financial system.
I don't know how an idiot like her just keeps getting elected over and over again. She is a complete idiot.
Trump and his co-president Elon Musk.
She just called Elon co-president.
Yeah, this is buzzword stuff.
Layoffs for tens of thousands of government workers, to on-again, off-again cuts in domestic grain purchases, to on-again, off-again support for medical research.
Look at her drill down.
Now,
when this
co-president Musk
lady stopped, I've had to catch myself there.
Have frozen at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. There are now 0 cops overseeing the $18 trillion consumer lending market. 0 cops. Investigations into illegal foreclosures and auto repossessions canceled. Exams of giant credit card issuers to weed out unlawful.
She's blaming all this on Elon.
Probes of illegal.
Which, I mean, Elon's not testifying. It's J. Powell. What are we doing?
Billions of dollars canceled. If Musk and his OMB director succeed in killing this, it's like putting a sign on every checking account,
somebody can argue
card, every mortgage
that auditing these government officials and government entities is a bad thing. Just it drives me absolutely crazy.
That is not all. Musk and his Doge crew are also rooting through the Treasury's most important payment systems, the financial plumbing that ensures that billions of payments go through.
Billions of illegal payments that go through daily.
Checks to grants for community health centers. No one has verified how they got this access or what they are doing with it. No one has checked whether Americans' financial data has been copied or sold. I
don't think Elon is stealing our information to get loans and stuff.
We had a series of misleading and conflicting statements by Treasury Secretary Besson. After receiving public,
let's say the more this type of talk happens, the higher the market will push, because he's not going to answer this question. He has nothing to contribute to this because it's not about him. There's nothing that has been said here, so there's no fear really in his answer.
Doesn't understand how the system works, or if he's just trying to shift the blame to you. But I know he is wrong. The Fed simply executes the transactions that Treasury instructs. If Elon and his hackers, for example, initiate instructions to shut off payments to their enemies,
She is what's wrong with
issue
America.
instructions to shut down payment for teachers' aides for kids with special needs, the Fed may have no way of
Fear mongering
knowing
is
that
just
the
so, it
instructions
drives
were
me crazy. I
manipulated,
can't stand fear
and the
mongering.
Fed may have no legal method to
And it's both
override
sides, don't get me wrong. Like when they're saying, hey, they're coming to take your guns. No, they're not. They're not. They can't legally overturn the Second Amendment, and the U.S. Supreme Court would not let that happen. So I don't know why it's ever even a political topic.
And Congress, if Doge's next move is to try to commandeer the Fed.
It's a tactic that's worked for forever, right? I mean, that's what politics does, and that's why people that trade, if you have that mentality of these fear tactics, that's where you get eaten alive, because you're like, oh no, this bad thing happened, the market's gonna tank, and then the market rips in your face, and you're like, what just happened to all my money?
But under the law right now,
So the comments are up over here on YouTube while we're watching this thing. And one of the comments is, what a liar. Can you just ask a damn question, Pocahontas?
Yeah,
this is, I hate these types of things because the person uses their 5 minutes to go on this political rant, and then they get to J-Pals. Do you agree? No.
Howard, cherry picking on about the narrative. I wish one person would talk about the uncovered corruption. They're turning the uncovered. They're turning that into a political thing where they're saying that the corruption you're seeing that's not corruption you're seeing.
Yeah.
What you're seeing, your eyes are wrong. That's not corruption. This is how we do business. This is how we get other things to go. Which transgender studies in Afghanistan does not. I don't care about that. That's not something that America should care about, and they don't. And that's what we're doing. We're doing a lot of stuff like that. Not just that, but a lot of it.
To bring down interest rates, beginning with a meaningful rate cut next month.
Oh, that actually kind of shocked me. She's calling a rate cut like that.
Oh, she's been calling rate cuts for years, dude.
Space it just a few weeks.
Yeah,
that's the reason for Republican counterpart. So how can she do that?
Yeah, no, he's gonna get rate cuts from both sides. They're both gonna be on it for it.
Financial system. You instituted a hiring freeze that will limit the number of cops on the Wall Street beat.
There's a chick behind her that just looks disgusted and said, that girl behind her is one of us.
Political appeal of your strategy.
While she's on her phone looking disgusted. She's texting somebody like, I can't believe this stupid shit I'm watching right now.
Climate catastrophes will continue to mount, and the increasing vulnerability of big banks will threaten our entire economy. Sure, Donald Trump may be happier with you right now, but wading deeper into politics to please him over the long run.
Powell is not doing anything to please Donald Trump.
And the independence of the Fed put our entire economy at risk.
I guess she's saying that Donald Trump wants to keep the interest rates high.
No, she's saying
he probably does.
No, he wants them cut, man. He wants housing demand.
No, I'm saying deep down inside he probably does because he's probably making money off a lot more money off the interest rates being high.
Chairman Scott, ranking member.
Here he is.
Other members of the committee, I appreciate the opportunity to present the Federal Reserve's semi-annual monetary policy report. The Federal Reserve remains squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices.
FOMC statement.
The American people. The economy is strong overall and has made significant progress toward our goals.
Exactly what he said in FOMC.
Yeah.
Market conditions have cooled.
He just brought his speech.
Inflation has moved much closer to our 2% mark.
You can't make this
We are
up.
attentive to the risks on both sides of our mandate. I will review the current economic situation before turning to monetary policy.
I mean, word for
Recent
word.
indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace.
Seemed like he'd have this memorized by now, don't it?
GDP rose
So having to read
Yeah,
it.
I think he does. Yeah, I have it memorized.
Voice bolstered investment
I
in equipment appears to have declined in the fourth quarter. but was
Oh,
solid
yep.
for the
I think we all do, Howie. Same state.
Activity in the housing sector seems to have stabilized. In the labor market, conditions remain solid and appear to have stabilized. Payroll jobs averaged 189,000 per month over the 4 months. Following earlier increases, the unemployment rate has been steady now since the
Now you're getting the crypto boys. Keep speaking. Bitcoin bullish.
Low. Nominal wage
Oh, the
growth
crypto boys.
and the jobs to workers.
They have invaded the chat. You got the gold boys in there too.
Overall,
3,000. I'm seeing 3,000 everywhere.
Suggests that conditions in the labor market are broadly in balance.
Somebody had mentioned to the crypto boys, you got to keep an eye on IWM. And they were like, is that the meme coin index? Like, oh my gosh.
Hey, by the way, flat on this trade.
Flat.
$2.50 good.
2 years, but remains somewhat elevated relative to
I think her mentioning a cuts, you're going to get a lot of that.
PCE inflation prices.
But it'll be how he responds to it, which we know his response. We're going to go meeting by meeting, case by case. We're going to let the data come in.
Yeah.
Longer term inflation expectations.
Big play over here that said quit lying.
As reflected in broad
Go big player.
Forecasters.
Somebody asked, do I go long or short on this?
All the actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote
74.75, that 200 on the 10, still holding. Can't break above it.
The FOMC lowered the policy
Draw
rate by
a line there, that's it.
From its peak after having maintained the target range for the
I'm back down $25 now.
5.5% for 14 months. That recalibration of our policy stance was appropriate in light of the progress on inflation and the cooling in the labor market. Meanwhile, we've continued to reduce our securities holdings. With our policy stance,
I'm waiting for neutral
less
rates.
restrictive than it had been, and the economy remaining strong, we do not need to be in a hurry to adjust our policy stance. We know that reducing policy restraint too fast or too much could hinder progress.
He's on page 2 of his statement now, by the
At the
way.
same time, reducing policy restraint too slowly or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. In considering the extent
$5 up now.
Adjustments to the target range for the federal
There's your
funds
200 test again on the 10-minute.
$10 up. Come on, go to 226. Give me $100.
As the economy evolves,
I made some scratch an hour or so before the open. I think I'll sit this out so you guys can. All right, Howie.
Hey, easy, Howie.
Be good, brother.
Man.
Yep.
Not continue to move sustainably toward 2%, we can maintain policy restraint for longer. If the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly or inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we can ease policy accordingly. We are
How we lose Howie, but we'll gain two more viewers.
And policy is well positioned to deal with the risks and
I don't know the accuracy of that counter, to be honest.
This year,
it's a little delayed.
It's
it's not as soon as somebody pops off or pops on. It takes it a minute to catch up. So.
To pursue our congressionally mandated.
And we know a good many people watch us after too. Now we have nobody. So whoever that one person is didn't like what they heard. So.
Sorry, guys.
Monetary policy strategy, which articulates the committee's approach to monetary policy. And
yeah, this is, I mean, besides Powell, this is really boring what we're doing here. But it is what it is.
Inflation goal will be
that's trading, man.
Yep.
That's trading.
Our review will include outreach and public events.
If we could get above that 200, I would look for a long, but we've got to get above that 200, which is going to push us close to breaking out of the zone.
SPY went green. Look at that SPY volume.
So the past 5 years.
Sorry, premium. Wow.
Yeah.
They're appropriate to best serve the American people.
Holdings
are accountable. We intend to wrap up the review by late summer. Let me conclude by emphasizing that at the Fed, we'll do everything we can to achieve our dual mandate goals that Congress has set for monetary policy.
Dual mandate goals.
We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals.
He testifies tomorrow too, right?
We understand
is it
that
just 1 day?
Communities, families,
2 days.
Country, everything we do is to our public mission.
Yes, that would be the House committee, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman Powell.
This is the Senate committee.
Actions have a global impact. You have the opportunity and responsibility of leading this country in the right direction economically. And I thank you for your commitment to having a conversation with all of us about how you do that well. You and I had a conversation yesterday. Some of it was frustrating, some of it was illuminating. But in the end, my goal is to make sure that the American people, specifically those working paycheck to paycheck, have more opportunities to succeed, not fewer. You have said that the Fed is not against innovation, and banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers as long as they understand
Crypto question.
and manage the risks.
Whoa.
And you have admitted that the threshold has been a little higher for banks engaging in crypto activities. Last week, I held a hearing on debanking and once again heard that federal banking agencies, in particular the Fed, use reputational risk as a tool to encourage the debanking of certain legal industries and law-abiding citizens for political reasons not tied to safety and soundness. Debanking is a top priority for this committee, and it certainly is for me, and one that I believe is a bipartisan issue. Will you commit to working with this committee to end debanking, including working with the new Vice Chair of Supervision, once appointed, to revise the Federal Reserve supervision manuals to remove reputational risk as a tool to weigh in on political topics?
I'm happy to make that commitment.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Accountability is
Short and to the point.
I would like to think accountability is a priority for everyone, especially the Fed, given that failures in Fed supervision can result in the loss of billions of dollars. Yet following the failure of the Silicon Valley Bank, which was in part due to the failures of its regulators to identify egregious mismanagement of interest rate and liquidity risks, we have yet to see any regulators.
Silicon Valley Bank failed because they were stupid and they
had
a lot of questionable
as a guy
investments.
Yeah, over leveraged in the wrong shit.
I don't know how we blame that on the
a
Fed.
necessary part of making the entire organization healthy.
Maybe oversight of them,
perform its job as well as possible. I'm encouraged that the FDIC has begun the process of holding SVB executives accountable. Good news. But no,
I mean, you think of how many banks are out there, and you hear of
put on performance improvement plan.
One that gets, there's a handful that got caught, but are had a rough
look
year,
at
I
your
guess, there.
and how many local regional banks do you have?
Right.
What else? And what are you planning to do to take accountability?
So many, and so I mean, they're all supposed to follow their own guidelines because they benefit immensely if they do. If they don't, then they go under.
We're above the 200, Roy.
Accountability. What we found was this was not a case of malfeasance or nonfeasance so much. It was a case of people were carrying out a specific playbook that failed to cause us to act in time for these things. So it wasn't actually particularly fair to the employees to say you violated.
There's where we'd like to see a retest
in some way. That wasn't really what happened. What happened,
in my opinion,
I would say,
that top
a lot of focus on process.
That's pretty much right on the 50. I mean, the 200.
Focus on basic bread and butter banking, credit risk, liquidity risk, interest rate risk, things like that. So, as we discussed yesterday, we took very substantial steps to avoid further spread of those issues, and that was successful. But I understand your point on accountability.
This is one of the areas where you see the approach to looking at safety and soundness, and with the number of MRAs that when really documented but no action was taken, that leads me to the conclusion that individual employees, supervisors should have been held accountable for that. I'll move on though. In the past, you've supported tailoring regulations so that we ensure banks of different sizes thrive and to preserve our diverse banking system. Will you commit to working with me as chairman to make sure that financial regulations do not impose more burden than is necessary? I'll say that this
I'll commit to that.
Number of
That's what he's gonna say.
community banks and regional banks that have continued to stress that the cost of the regulatory
$10 up, Roy. $10 up over here. I need 50 more cents.
Larger banks suggest that the cost per employee for the regulatory framework is $10,000 per employee. I think we can do better. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Right, first of all, I will commit to working with you on that. We do try to avoid excessive burden. I think it's fair to take a fresh look on debanking. I think we all see, both in your hearing and in the one on the House side, we hear a lot of people talking about that. And
We did come
you know,
back and retest that, and I did not take it.
We don't intentionally do these things, but sometimes regulation leads things to happen. And
I had a
working on that.
I
buy
appreciate
at
that.
74.75 and it missed me.
After having a number of conversations with CEOs of banks around the country, one of the things that was made clear to
Mother
me,
trucker.
the statement from these CEOs is that
Cancel that order.
regulatory OCC and other regulatory agencies said specifically to debank certain industries, and that is the point that I'm making.
Roy, we're going
that
to.
I think we have to solve. If it's legal in
Missed
America,
me by a tick.
We're going to end the stream.
Yeah.
We have nobody here
Thank you,
watching,
Mr.
so
Chairman. So over the weekend, co-president
Bye, guys. Thank you.
thank y'all.
effectively shut
Thank you,
down
Gus.
the FTB.